I'm Brother Juju.
It's Tomato Pain Pain.
I'm Brother Chris.
Yeah, man. It's the Brothers Hermanos. Yeah, man. So, got my brother here in the building. You know, he certified lawyer out here in these streets. He passed that law exam. What that, LSAT?
The bar exam.
The bar exam.
Yeah,
Hey, man, much respect on that, man, because you don't see too many folks of, you know, the melanated color over there getting that far up in the ranks, man. So we just wanted to have him on here just to give you some tips, to give you some advice, to give you some words of wisdom.
Most definitely, man. Most definitely. I appreciate y'all having me on the.
Man, much respect, bro. Hey,
Appreciate you coming through.
Yeah.
First thing I want to say, like, is it ever any times like you feel like the schooling was too much? You felt like you knew enough where you didn't have to go to school no more?
Oh yeah.
Or,
yeah, most definitely. It definitely wasn't an easy road, and it can be tough trying to stay focused for that long amount of time. So you kind of just have to have a good support system and just a strong belief in like what you're doing, Yeah. Because otherwise you're not really gonna get through it. But there was definitely a few times where I thought about quitting and not continuing on with school and just doing something else because it was expensive and it was hard. So, but like Nipsey says, he says it's a marathon, not a sprint. So
that's real.
I just kind of kept that focused. And
boom. I wish I would realize that in school.
Just kept going,
Yeah, I'm definitely glad you persevered, man.
Yeah, man. I appreciate it, though.
How many years you got to go to school to be a lawyer? Is it a certain amount of school, or it just depend on what type of law you want to be into? How does that work?
It's 3 years. The traditional JD program is 3 years.
Yeah.
You can do it in 2, if you want to speed up the process and go to summer school and all of that.
Oh, wow.
Some schools do, but most JD programs are 3 years.
Wow.
And it's a process. There's no real requirement for any type of specific law. Like if you want to do a specific area, it doesn't necessarily take longer. I think a lot of people that want to do like going to tax law, like they end up doing the 3 years and then getting a master's in taxation. So.
Nah, that lets you know I don't know nothing about it.
For real.
Hey, I thought you had to like go to school for like at least like 8 years to be a lawyer. I don't know what I was thinking. That's a doctor, right?
Well, you gotta go to if you include undergrad, then it's about 7 years total.
Yeah, damn.
But.
And that's before you get any check, huh? Before anybody pays you anything.
Before anybody pays you anything.
You just learn it, so you get paid for what you know, really, over than the other way around, huh?
Yeah, you just get paid for what you know, man. And if you want to specialize in a certain area, I think there's different tests that you take to specialize in certain law. But it's a process, and it wasn't easy, but we're here now, so.
Yeah, that's it. We're here now. That's
trying to get to it now, So.
Dang.
Yeah.
Is it a lot of similarities in like civil law and criminal law? Because I know one time I was trying to ask a criminal lawyer a bunch of civil questions, and he was looking at me like, man, and I was like, man, you a lawyer, man. You're supposed to know this. And he was like, I do civil law, man. Like,
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, is it any similarities? Are a lot of similarities between criminal and civil law?
They're different. The process is kind of similar in terms of you initiate the case, and if it goes to trial, you have to try the case before a jury. So you have to do that in both civil and criminal law, regardless of what type of case it is. The difference is really just what we call in law the remedy.
Okay.
In criminal law, you're trying to, if you're the prosecutor, you're seeking to get a conviction. So you're trying, those defendants are possibly going to jail if they lose.
Right.
In civil, it's more about the money. So you're suing for money damages.
You still got your freedom, but they hit them pockets.
Right, exactly. So,
I don't know which one is better.
You know, there's some lawyers that will advertise for as like personal injury attorneys. They talk about how they're good at getting your racks up. So they'll help you get money basically. So if you just think about it in terms of, you know, civil law is you're going after the money versus criminal law, you're looking at possibly doing jail time. That's the difference.
Yeah. And sometimes I heard it's just what you can prove, right? It doesn't even matter if you're guilty or innocent. Sometimes it's a matter of whoever your lawyer, which is the voice,
right,
of the you know, either
right.
side.
Right. It's all about what you can prove.
Yeah. Okay.
The law is like it could be your friend or it could be your enemy. You know. So if you have a good lawyer, they're able to, you know, exploit that. Sometimes the law isn't what we think it is. You know, we might think that something is reasonable and a certain result should happen, but the law will tell you otherwise, and you end up getting a result that you weren't really expecting. You know, and I think that a lot of that, you see a lot of that with like, especially these like police misconduct cases. You know, we as just the viewing public see a cop shooting, you know, a black man or a black woman, and it's clear that they shot and killed them.
Right.
So we would think that police officer should just go to jail, but the law has so many different elements, so many different avenues in terms of
it's still a process.
Trying to get information that, you know, it's not that clear cut.
Right. Okay, that's what I was reading something because another person I spoke with that was involved. You know, we see like something happen and we feel like, I don't know, I think people in their head, we kind of like relate to street law. We think it's just instant consequence, like take him to jail right now.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? But it's like when your friend do something and, you know, they go through the procedure, you kind of be like, yeah, you know, well, yeah, you know, we can bail him out and this and that, you know what I'm saying? Or he ain't got to turn himself in and then, but when it's, you know, there's some police, we want to see instant consequences. I guess it's because it's just like that, like a little like, you know, just misunderstanding between the police and civilians, man. You know what I'm saying? We look at them as like upstanding citizens, man.
Right.
And then you see them innocently killing somebody. It's like, yeah, that's crazy. You know what I mean?
I think that's the issue we have now with the police. A lot of it is just that, you know, a lot of these officers that are policing these communities aren't from the community. They don't know all the people.
Because all of them ain't bad. You know
right. I mean, they you know, like I've met a couple officers that aren't, you know, bad people, but the problem with policing generally is just that, like, they have no connection to the communities that they're, you know, regulating and enforcing laws against. Like, they don't even know the people, they don't even know the citizens, they don't know what they do, like where they come from, like, and so they treat them basically like dogs, and that's what we're seeing. You're seeing cops literally hunt down citizens, like literally hunting them down like they're prey.
Like us versus them.
Yeah. It's crazy, man,
and we grew up in LA, like we saw the Rodney King riots, the '92 riots, and now we're seeing these riots happen now. It's so we grew up with all like the, you know, the NWA. You know, they was over there banging that fuck the pole, you know, fuck the one times.
Yeah.
Like we grew up on that. Like other people grow up on.
Right. We kind of have just seen it, you know. You've seen the whole like circle of the process go, you know. Like we've seen, like you said, the NWA and you know, Nipsey Hussle.
So seeing that, this is my question: is there any? What do you suggest? How do we move forward in the future? Like by seeing the same thing happen there, and then folks getting off on loopholes. Is that still going to be what happens in the future? Do we need to, like, how do you recommend we move forward, or what do we do? Is it going to stay, like, when we have kids and grandkids, is it going to be the same thing with the artists of that day?
Right. I mean, man,
making the same NWA song.
Man, there's a lot of things that need to change with the law and how it's enforced. Not only as it's written on the books, but how we how we practice policing out here. You've been seeing people call for like defunding the police. I'm not necessarily saying that that's the thing that we should do or shouldn't do, but we need to start thinking about those different options.
Right.
Like I'm saying, I was kind of hinting on the community policing. It would be a good idea for us to start thinking about, defunding the current system and then implementing some system where we have people that are familiar with the areas that they're policing, the people that they're policing, because it would make for better understanding between police and civilians. A lot of these police are just scared. You know what I mean? If they weren't as scared, like we wouldn't be having there's literally one thing after another every day.
Scared, they got bias. You know what I mean? I feel like the police that police the area they in, they should live in that area.
Right.
But that's kind of asking for a lot. But I kind of felt like they should have some familiarity with it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it is. I don't think it is asking for a lot. I think that we have the resources. LAPD definitely has resources to not only hire the force, but have them stationed where they police.
Right.
Or at least they need to be somewhat trained or something and have some type of experience with the people that they're policing. So
kind of like cats that's like sheriffs or COs. They got a couple years in prison first.
Yeah, right.
They can relate to
the prison population.
Yeah, they can relate more. Yeah, that makes sense.
So it's all about the training, and then once we get the training, it's like how do we change the laws? So
it's getting ridiculous, man.
It's getting
ridiculous, man.
It's getting out of control, man.
Yeah.
So, we would think that we would be so much farther in terms of progress since like the Rodney King riots.
Yeah.
Even before that, King getting assassinated, Malcolm X. Like, it seems like we're kind of going backwards.
Right. You
Black Wall Street.
Yeah. Black Wall Street, all of that, man. Like, why are we? It seems like we're going backwards. Like we're making progress, maybe, but now it's like
That definitely stunted a lot of the growth in the black community for sure.
No, definitely, yeah, man.
Most definitely. So what type of law you practice, basically?
So I practice with a law firm called Science Law Inc.
Okay.
And then I also have my own practice. It's called CF Allen Law.
Okay.
That's my first two initials, my first name and my middle name, and then last name Allen.
So that's like your own company?
My own practice. My own company, And with both I pretty much primarily practice personal injury, criminal defense, and then I do some business transactional work as well.
Yeah. Well, what does it mean to have a lawyer on retainer? What does that mean?
A lawyer on retainer? That means basically like you got your attorney at your beck and call almost, basically. Like you basically pay a fee to the attorney to start the case, and then once that retainer has been exhausted,
right,
you got to replenish the retainer.
So it's like basically like kind of like prepaid, like
right.
Let them know how serious you are. Like, yeah, I want to rock with you.
Right. I mean, there's different payment strategies that lawyers will have. I mean, that's one way. A lot of it is like retainer based. Some are paid. Some might be paid monthly. I mean, just to have them on call, just in case anything bad happens. You might hear that happening with big time athletes or artists, music artists, entertainers. They want their lawyer to pick up the phone when something bad happens, so they make sure they're compensated.
Right.
So, but my hope is always like I don't want you to have no problems, hopefully you don't get to that.
Yeah. Hopefully we don't have to go there.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. So what's the craziest thing you seen growing up in LA? Because I know we was hitting up clubs like Bling Bling and Club Access and all that stuff back in the day.
Right.
So what's some of the wildest stuff you seen growing up? Or did any of that inspire you into going into law?
Most definitely, man. you know, like I said, you know, when we were coming up in high school, like just a couple stories in terms of dealing with the police, like a good friend of mine and you, we were going to a party in Manhattan Beach. And, me, my brother, my cousin Malcolm, and Mark. We had just graduated, I think, from high school, and we were going to a function, and we got pulled over by the police.
I was sober too.
Yeah, sober. Wasn't drinking or smoking. Hadn't even gotten.
You said that like you was never sober back in them days.
I'm just saying, it caught me sober too, and I was just like, yo, there's nothing going on. I'm perfect citizen right now. I ain't doing no bullshit.
We hadn't been doing nothing, and we got pulled over. I can't remember what street that was. It was over there off Sepulveda though.
Say Pool Vita.
You know what I mean? And the cops pulled us over one time, said, "Where y'all going? Y'all shouldn't be over here. You know, you shouldn't be driving around here late at night like this." And we just let the cops know, like, man, we're going to a party, like, you know, we're just going, we're just kids.
We're just trying to have fun, man.
17, 18 years old, going to a party, having trying to have some fun. They said, all right. They didn't really want nothing. They gave us a ticket. They let us go. We go on our way. We get pulled over again.
I used to hate that, man.
This is all in Manhattan Beach. It's just like not the same cops, but another
force.
You know,
he was clowning. He was over here like, I just got stopped. Like, you can search the car. Like, it makes no sense to even search me because I just got searched literally about less than 5 to 10 minutes ago.
Like, they used to trip over there. Like, yeah man.
They was tripping, like, and it's like y'all didn't let nobody know that y'all just pulled us over.
Damn.
You know, and so we must have got pulled over 3 times that night, all before we even got to the party. You know, and I think that was the first time where it personally affected me, where I was looking like, man, like the cops just profile you. You know, like they're not really looking for nothing. They just see something that they don't like and they want to stop you. You know. And so I think that's what planted the seed initially for me in terms of wanting to go to law school and practice law. But you know, I've been growing up in LA. I can point to at least 3 or 4 more instances where that, you know, you have a run-in with the cops.
Yeah, so this is the Brothers Hermanos Special Law Edition. You know, we up in the building.
What's up with y'all, man?
You know, man, as you can see, man, I'm looking like an upstanding citizen today, man, you know.
I just want to let y'all know, not all lawyers wear suits all the time.
But we look more official.
I thought lawyers I thought they like wake up with a suit on.
No, man, we I can't wear this every day, like, unless I'm going to court or something like that. But
I thought you get paid more with the suit on. You gotta look the part, right? They say presentation's everything. So if I look like a lawyer, then I must be a lawyer.
No, you can wear. You know,
I be trying to take that money, man. The lawyers be coming in here, they be over here knowing exactly what to say, but they get to check out the situation every time, dog.
I thought lawyers wore suits to water parks.
People pay whatever for their freedom, bro. People pay whatever just to be like, I just want to be liberated and don't want to be behind the walls and shit. How much I gotta pay?
Yeah, I would.
Hey, man, everybody is. That's why when it's on the line, they be like,
it's just a fake, like it's just like a little fake
like that
dress that you gotta wear to make it seem like you know exactly what you're doing.
You gotta look the part though. You gotta look the part.
Some lawyers wear suits all day, the nice suits, and they don't know what they doing. You know?
That's true. That's true.
Hey, so growing up in LA, I just know how the dating life, you know, what that can be like. Has that changed any since that you now are an official lawyer? Like, do the chicas show you more love now that you got that?
Yeah, I mean, most definitely, man. You know.
That matters. I didn't know if it was like just because of who you are inside, personality.
It's not always about who you are on the inside. Like, even as much as people will say that, you know, it's definitely a benefit to having that status. But at the same time, people want to make sure that, you know, you still get questioned by ladies and whatnot, man. You know, they're not gonna overlook any types of flaws that you have just because you're a lawyer.
Right.
You know, there's people out there that don't date lawyers. You know, or they make.
Why is that? Why would somebody not date a lawyer?
Well, I mean, they make assumptions that like you know, might be over analytical or like you're not like down to earth, like you think too much of yourself or something like that. So, you know, for me, that's not who I am. I'm not that. That's not the type of person who I am. So like, I try to have a balance in terms of my life. Like it's not just all about law. I'm just a regular human being like everyone else. Just happen to have a law degree. I happen to be able to practice law. But you know, there's perks with it too. You know, definitely. You know, there's women out there that's what they're looking for. They're looking to date a lawyer. They're looking to date, you know, somebody like.
Do they make you pay for the bill every time?
Not every time, man. Not every time. I mean, you know, usually the first couple of dates, you know, you're courting them. So like, you know,
but if they know you're a lawyer, they're like, he can pay for the bill.
Yeah, there's some. I mean, there's some out there that just assume that, you know. But I'm still fairly young. I still just started kind of working right now, and you know, I'm starting my own practice and whatnot. So like, I don't have a whole lot of extra money out there like that. I'm not broke, but it's like I don't got time to be buying your like Fendi and like Coach bags and shit like that. You know? Like, but.
Growing up in LA, have you ever bought a girl a Coach bag or a Tiffany's?
Nah, man. No, I have not. I just never had the money. Like, yeah, not that I wouldn't buy one for him, but it's just, you know, that wasn't something I was looking to do with my time or my money. But if I had the bread, like, you know, why not reward her with a nice little gift, you know?
Man. How many dates would you have to go on?
I mean, that have to be my girl, you know, that have to be my girl for sure.
A girl after one date or a girl after like 10 dates?
Yeah, like 10 days.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if it was like a specific amount of time.
Like at least 10 days, bro. Like,
it's like you see her first night, you walk into the building, it's like, you can get a bag.
I see why lawyers don't wear these all the time.
It's hot as hell,
man. Damn. Yeah, I'm taking this motherfucker off too, bro.
I see why lawyers, man. I salute y'all. Y'all don't have to wear it all the time, man.
Yeah. You know?
I thought it looked official though.
Yeah. I do trust you more when you got a blazer on though. But I don't know why.
Trust you to take my money?
Brainwash.
One more question. You know what to do with it.
What, how do you handle a situation if you get a case that you morally just feel like you can't do? Like if it's a case this is like morally like I can't do it. Do lawyers ever do that? Is there any way to get out of that as a lawyer?
Well, I think the best way to be able to do that is to, you know, have your own practice, so you can pick and choose what type of cases you want to work on. And that's actually a good question, because that's kind of also a motivation for me to start my own practice, was that I always thought that I really had no control over what types of cases I wanted to work on, and you know, what cases I wanted to take on, or which cases I didn't want to take on. Because when you're working for somebody else, they're telling you got to work on this employment law case, or this criminal case, this rape case. You know,
rape case.
You know, maybe you know, if you're a type of lawyer where you don't like to work on those type of cases. Yeah. If you have your own practice, you can be like, you know, I don't want to do that.
Yeah. If you could live and work anywhere in the United States, where would you pick?
Man, I gotta say LA, man, because I'm from the city. I'm from here.
LA over Atlanta?
Yeah.
Because I know you be going to Atlanta a lot, bro.
Yeah, I like.
And I know Atlanta's one of the meccas, so I just had to ask, man.
I like Atlanta, man. But
Atlanta's nice.
You know, it is.
Is there any difference between? I see a little difference, but do you see a difference between the women in Atlanta and the women in LA?
Most definitely, man.
Let's quote carefully.
Yeah, you gotta tread careful on this one. That's like a setup question right
Don't
there.
just jump out there.
I'm just curious if there's any difference, or if it's just like, you know.
Man.
If the chicas is the chicas.
No, it's definitely a difference. There's similarities, though. I mean, I would say that the first similarity is that Atlanta is like the black LA, basically. Like, it's like black Hollywood. If you
that's
about
what
Atlanta.
yeah.
So like,
Black Hollywood.
You know, it's very similar in that, in terms of how the women are. I mean, you know, it's just, you got that whole Southern hospitality element, you know, so not to say that women here are not like that, They're not, you know.
They're not like that.
No, I'm not. I can't say they're not 100% like that, but
I love them, but they
like you got, you know, in Atlanta you got this whole Southern hospitality element, so they're definitely more, you know, catering to you and then like catering towards your feelings and, you know, what they need to do to please you. Like, there's the element there that can be lost when you're dating women in LA. Not all women are like that, but you know, you see more of that in there. You know, homemakers type, just making sure everything is running smoothly in the household. You know, that's a good quality to have. So, but in terms of the looks, I mean, man, you
asking carefully once again.
You got, like I said, I really can't say one is better than the other. You got different characteristics. Atlanta, I'd say, in terms of
smart man.
In terms of black women, like you got a lot of beautiful black women in Atlanta. You got beautiful black women in LA, but because Atlanta has a larger population of blacks generally, you know, you're gonna get more of a selection of beautiful, educated black women in Atlanta than you will in LA. LA has more diversity though. So like you got a lot more pickings and choosings in terms of the type of women, the ethnicities of women. Like you got more of a choice here. So you really can't go wrong with either one though, man. You know? You really can't.
It's all about what you like.
Yeah, exactly. It's all about what you like. And so they're out there in both cities.
So what was you doing before you became a lawyer?
Man, I was doing a lot, man. I was played basketball in high school.
Well, you did AAU?
I did do AAU.
That was it was going down in Circus, bro.
Yeah, it was. It was going down at the Circus.
It was going up at the Circus, dog.
Yeah, Treasure Island too, you know. Like,
Treasure Island, Shout out to Vegas and shout out to the traveling basketball.
Traveling basketball, man. Like, you know, LA has a lot of hoopers that come out of LA, man. And so me and my friend, our good friend Malcolm, we used to play AAU a lot on the AAU circuit out here. We go play in tournaments like in Las Vegas and Florida and Texas. But it was a good time to play for like different teams like ARC, SoCal, All Stars. Just a lot of different teams, man. And, you know, in addition to playing basketball, I was really into music. I'm still in music. As a hobby, I like to, you know, produce. Make beats.
What made you stop? What slowed down the basketball progress? Like, when was the day that you just hung the jersey up on the wall and hung the shoes up and you was like, all right, I'm about to do this law, or like you shifted into something else?
Probably, I would say probably at the end of my senior year in high school. You know, I knew like I didn't really have no opportunities to go play in college, so I just figured I was like, man, basketball's not gonna work out, so I needed to figure out something else. And so by the time I got out of high school, I was like, you know, I need to be focused on doing well in school and you know, pursuing the law path. So.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's one of his beats playing right now, right?
Yeah, you know, he's still making beats, but I just didn't know whenever like a basketball player is really done, because even Michael Jordan came back, so I didn't know if it was about to go hit the gym and hit all these hit the weights again and get right back in it. And
we played intramurals and stuff in college, but other than that, like I pretty much hung it up, and but you know, also was making beats and was pretty heavy into that as well.
Well, what was the journey of music like? Just going back. Mm-hmm. Like, when did that start, or how did that start?
No, I wasn't. But I actually played like the violin initially. And had some lessons with that. Yeah, so like that's kind of what got me into music.
Getting the bougie chicks.
Yeah. So I started playing that, and I didn't really enjoy it, but because I was so young, like my parents kind of forced me to keep going through with it, and it taught me a lot about music and just music theory and like being able to hear certain notes and stuff like that. But I wanted to change it into something that I liked to do with music, and once I started getting introduced to like hip hop, rap, I immediately was, geared towards like the beats. I would always be focusing on like how the beats sounded and like the drum patterns and stuff like that. And so one day my cousin Malcolm told me about this program called Fruity Loops.
What was that? I was junior high school?
Yeah, junior high school. When I was in 8th grade.
Damn.
I was about 14 years old. And he's like, man, you need to download this program called Fruity Loops. I was like, man, you get this for free. And like I downloaded it, it was free. And you could make
beats. Cause we didn't spend no money like that then, man.
Nah.
It was like our parents picked up the tab on a lot of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So
man, we had it good, bro. That's privilege, man.
It is,
that's some good shit.
It is.
Made me want to go hug my mama, man.
the minty talents.
Even though it was the free program, you know what I'm saying? Cause it was the demo version and shit. But, hey.
Yeah. It was the demo version. So like we
got lifelong skills, man.
We downloaded that and just started making beats, and you wouldn't be able to save the actual file of the beat. You'd have to make the whole beat and export the file.
Wow.
And so we just kept playing around with it all the time, and as time went on, like we just kind of kept getting better and better. But
it's like the repetitions or the practice, huh?
Yeah.
It's like how Kobe would go in the gym and Michael Jordan would be in the gym every day, and Nipsey just kept rapping, and he just kept on making beats.
Yep, exactly. And over time, it just you develop the skill set. You learn this is how you make the beat. This is how you set up a song. This is how you mix and master. How you equalize or put an equalizer on the kick and 808. And so how did really get into like the process of making.
How did it start? You just heard the rap songs and was like, now I want to do the music behind it, and then it was like, because it seems kind of easy to make a beat. Like when you first hear something out there, it's like, oh, I can do this, and then after you get behind the keyboard and you get behind the program, it kind of gets a little bit intimidating.
Right.
So I was just curious, what made you push? What had you keep pushing through to just get to the level you are with making the beats?
Man, it was just.
And who all you been working with, or where do you go to check your stuff out?
Man, I mean, it was just just a process and like a passion to like learn how to do it. So like, it can be pretty intimidating when you first get the program and you open it up. You're like, how do you even work this thing? Like, how do you? I remember getting Reason and being like, I don't even know how to start the track off. I don't even know how to pull up the instrument to like start playing stuff.
Right, how to break the ice.
Yeah, and so like. You just kind of keep messing around with it. YouTube came out, so we would watch videos on YouTube. Oh, this is how you're supposed to do this and that. And so that's how we kind of move forward with it. In terms of artists that I worked with, I worked with you. We've definitely done a few projects together, musically. I worked with some other artists out here in LA, specifically like Pac-Man the Gunman and Drake the Ruler.
Man, it's crazy. So you could get rappers out of jail and make beats for them.
Yeah, that's true. I couldn't do that.
I've never really met nobody that can do both at the same time.
They need to keep bro on retainer, man.
You know what I'm saying?
It's worth it.
Yeah.
And then put them on contract for making beats, where it's like, all right, do the production on the project, get me out.
You gonna get a track?
It's like I got one call to make. If y'all deny my phone call, somebody here getting fucked up.
Right. You got an interesting combo right there.
It's crazy, bro.
So yeah, man, like. But I still make beats now. It's always been.
Cause I know Drake, always need a little bit of some. He needs some advice, man. So what advice would you give any of the rappers or artists or anybody coming up for like legal advice? Or what tips do you have?
Well, for sure, like one of the first pieces of advice I would give would be, always be conscious of like what you're saying on your tracks and what you're putting out there on social media. Because it could come back to haunt you or bite you.
Good thing it's illegal now.
Yeah. You good with that, man. You good with that. But I would just be conscious of that. For artists that are in the, in the music industry or entertainment industry generally, make sure you have your paperwork you know, your contract signed. You want to make sure as an artist and as a producer that, you know, you're getting compensated for the work that you do, and you're getting the royalties for the songs and for the production that you're a part of. So I would say just generally those are probably the two main pieces of advice that I would give, because I've definitely seen it come back to bite people, and you know, you just want to make sure that you're putting yourself in the best position to succeed, you know?
100.
So,
100%.
Yeah. Most definitely.
Man. We went to the House of Blues show that Nipsey did back in the day. So we saw his journey of coming up.
Right,
so
most definitely.
Why do you think, how'd you feel about his show? And what did you think about its impact on Los Angeles and everything that's still going on?
Well, personally, I think, you know, Nipsey was a huge influence in terms of, you know, showing us how to build a brand and how to fish, you know, like, and how to go out on your own and establish a business that's profitable and that's also beneficial to the community. So he was very impactful from that standpoint. You know, seeing him in concert, that was definitely, you know, one of the highlights of probably my life in terms of being able to see him perform live. You know, he has a very good, you know, persona on stage, and he's able to capture an audience. So, you know, just generally, like, he was just an all-around, just a good, you know, human being, and I'm sure he had a huge impact not only on, you know, the world generally, but especially everybody from LA that you know, grew up listening to him. And, you know, just seeing him, you know, around the city and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's just unfortunate, you know, what happened to him. So, but he definitely left his imprint on us.
Yeah, man. He was like slowing down the gentrification or changing the complexion of the gentrification.
Yeah.
And he was one of the rappers that was actually out there doing it.
Mm-hmm. And
yeah.
he pretty much bought up all those businesses in that.
Yeah, he got the U.S. Bank right there. The
Fat Burger.
Yeah.
He got the.
Shout out to Black Sam too, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to Sam.
He just had the blueprint, man. He had it all figured out.
Yeah.
Like you know, it's cool seeing somebody come from the hood like that and like just totally, you know, doing a 360 of something that people were not thinking, you know, people were capable of doing. Like, we were able to do that, you know.
He had that one joint too, it was a Vector 90 or something like that.
That was a partnership with what was his name, Gross?
I think so, man. But I remember we went there, they had like offices and stuff, like you could use the offices. You're a young business professional.
That's what he was about. Like, that's why it's like, you know, that's why it was so impactful to us, because it was just like, oh, he's on his business shit, like, why can't we be on ours?
Yeah.
So
man, got it out the mud too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was a huge impact on my life, period.
Yeah, it was like his situation, and then Kobe happened. And you know, we grew up loving Kobe and watching Kobe.
Yeah, man. Kobe.
Like, you know,
we watched Kobe when he was like 17. When he was coming into the league. Like, I remember.
Because we were Laker fans growing up.
Yeah.
Or Clipper fans.
Yeah,
that's crazy too, like growing up in LA, and it's like, do you pick the Clippers or the Lakers? Because I was like one of the ball boys for the Clippers.
Oh, right?
Just for a little bit. Just for like a season.
When?
I was about like 12 years old, bro.
Wow.
I was young as fuck. It was just real quick. And it was only like one, it was only like a couple games. No, that was because when you were a kid, you just happy to get motherfuckers sweat and shit. Yeah. And it's crazy because imagine that was like Magic Johnson sweat or some shit like that, and you a little ass kid, and you just like, yeah, man, what the fuck? You know? Because you don't know what kind of sweat it is, but you just like so happy to be like right there on the floor.
Was you a ball boy at the Forum?
It was at the yeah, I was there for one or two games there. I think I did do the Forum, dog.
Yeah, it had to be.
No, it was the other one at the Coliseum, man. You know, when the Clippers were over there at the
at the sports arena.
Sports arena, bro. I said Coliseum, that's SC shit. But yeah, the sports arena was right next to that though.
That arena's so old, man.
Yeah, but that's where we was at with it, man. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but being real close to the action, man. I actually met Kobe with cause my brother, he a choreographer, so he was doing some choreography for the Backstreet Boys. Yeah. So we got to go behind the scenes for the Backstreet Boys, but he was just back there, so we were just going to see my bro. But we was like, yo, this is just cool to be backstage. So we going through backstage and stuff. I see Sinbad an asshole to me. He don't give me no, I was like, can I get your autograph? He was like, if I give one to you, I gotta give one to everybody. I'm like, fuck you, Mr. Man. But, you know, I didn't know fuck you then, but I was just like, whatever, man, fuck you, dude. So, I like get all the way to the, to behind, where like, you know, my brother's at, and then Kobe, cause he had like the broken wrist that time, his wrist was broken, so he had the cast on, right? So I asked him, I was like, hey man, it was like, can I beat you? And Kobe started laughing and shit like, can you beat me? And I was like, god damn, I was that starstruck when I was like, can I beat him, motherfucker? You know what I mean? But that's, you know what I mean, how I like looked at him on some like, hey man, fuck everybody else that's here. It's like, I don't give a fuck. It's like, it's Kobe Bryant right there. And he was cool then, he gave me an autograph, and just ever since then, I just followed dude's career and followed his work ethic, you know.
Kobe or Jordan?
Kobe. Just because I grew up watching Kobe. Yeah, like if Jordan was my time period, then I'd have to say Jordan, but I was like young, because Jordan was doing this stuff on the 98. I was watching that Last Dance Michael Jordan joint, and that made me love Michael Jordan even more. But I'm from LA, and Kobe played for the Lakers, and I watched Kobe's whole career come all the way up, and then just how Kobe went out too. Because Kobe went out with just how he passed out, so he's more of a legend to me than Jordan is, because Kobe was doing more for us, also behind the scenes. Like Kobe got an Oscar award winning Kobe. That's
like trying to say like Bill Russell or Oscar Robertson to somebody. We ain't see them play.
Right. So I can just get emotionally on the game, so I actually sat down and watched.
We gonna say Shaq. We gonna say
Shaq. You know what's crazy? I wonder if it's like that for every other city, but I feel like more than any other team, that like the Lakers always have a big impact on LA.
Yeah,
it's like once you're a Laker, you like LA family forever. Like Magic Johnson, man, he was like man, that dude was inspiring. Like if you was living in LA, he was the first cat opening up the Starbucks.
Right. The Magic
Johnson Theater, you know, so even though they used to trip, you couldn't wear red or blue shoelaces. But man,
that place was ratchet.
Magic had all kind of stuff out here for the community, man. You know what I mean? Like, that was crazy.
Yeah, Magic was doing his thing out here, bro.
Yeah, he was a hard body.
And you said Magic Johnson Theater, he had the Starbucks.
Yeah, and he had the
TGI Burgers, TGI Fridays.
Yeah, the Magic Johnson.
Hey, and niggas was getting robbed in all of them locations. And talking about the Magic Johnson.
That's a shame though, man. That's
when it first came out.
But listen, that's the
like
problem.
His sidekicks jacked, everything was getting.
But see, that's the problem though, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why you gonna do that in a black establishment, man? You ain't doing that nowhere else.
Right. That's just what I remember.
Hey, Magic built this. Like, why?
Magic was the one person when he talked. I don't care if you was a murderer, a triple blood, or a triple crip. Everybody was listening when Magic talk.
Right.
And Magic do all. He'd be over on Dare Center or something. Everybody be listening. The pastor can get up there. They're like, yeah, whatever. The president, people like, yeah, whatever. Magic started talking, people like,
it's Magic, bro. That's Magic. One of the greatest of all time, bro. That's the goat over here. Yeah, shut the fuck up when the goat talking.
My mama be like, be quiet, listen to Magic. Let the Magic sit trying to tell y'all something.
That's how like Jordan and Kobe became. That's all I'm saying is like I was a kid and see Kobe like that the same way. Be like, hey, shut the fuck up, Kobe Bryant talking.
Be quiet.
Kobe Bryant winning the Oscar and shit.
Right. He owned this whole great big center. Listen, it's Magic.
Right.
Yeah, man.
Crazy.
That's crazy, man. My brother Juju.
It's Tomato Pain Pain.
Chris.
That's my brother Chris, man. Brother Chris. There's the Brothers Hermanos.